All right, let's make this quick, y'all. The break has started now.
But another wild one. That's 3 straight games, though. But
Yeah.
The key is you found a way to win, and that's all that counts.
It is. I mean, it's a gutsy win, coming off a long road trip. A lot of elements play a factor, but they've been playing well. Washington's been playing well. They play hard. They play together, and we gave them some life. And once you give a team life, now their confidence is high, and we had to grind to get this win, but we'll take it.
When you get into a situation like that and it starts going back and forth and you start leaning on your main guys, and Zion and CJ and Brandon just made some big shots down the stretch, and that's kind of what we've come to expect during this first stretch of the year.
We do expect it. We expect those guys to carry us and close out games when they have to. But I thought our second unit, that small group that we went with, they were huge. Defensively, switching screens, being aggressive, the physicality that they brought. They're playing fast, getting stops. And I thought the game in the second half, they had the momentum, and then it shifted back to us once that group touched the floor. And then we went to our guys down the stretch and they closed it out. So, like I said, it's a gutsy win. We made it a little bit, probably more difficult than it needed to be. But at this time of year, you just continue to stack wins.
To that point, how much do you need Jose Alvarado's energy tonight?
We need it every night. And tonight he came in right away, and you could feel his energy. And that's what he does for our team. And he had a huge game for us.
When you you have like 8 days off and you're 50-something games into the season, is it hard mentally to be present and be locked in as you want to be?
Say that again?
Like when you have when you're gonna have 8 days off, like how hard is it to just be, locked in mentally as you'd like to be?
It can be challenging, but it's why we're professionals, and it's what you're here to do. I think there were a few elements that played a role in sort of our lapse this game. We're coming off being away for 7 to 8 days, playing 4 games on the road. Our first game at home, that first game is always a little tiring. And we got off to a great start, didn't finish the second quarter well, and all those elements play a role in it. We're 1 game away from the break. We're playing against, a team that we talked about it. You have to respect them, no matter their record. And credit to our guys in the locker room is, maybe it should have been a higher scoring game or further apart as far as the score, but they got the win, and that's what counts.
And you mentioned that the most important thing is getting the win at the end of the day, but just when you look at this game, not just this game, but throughout the season, kind of the ups and downs, the inconsistency, just what's your feel on kind of where that comes from for this team, and how it just kind of shifts, from quarter to quarter?
Well, I think we're learning to grow with each other. This group is still pretty young in terms of BI, CJ, Z, especially our starters being on the floor together for this long in the season. So, along the way, we're starting to figure it out, but I think that plays a role in some of the inconsistencies that we'll see from time to time, and we just have to stay committed to working the kinks out.
And we've heard you talk about this before, kind of that coming back from the All-Star break, that sprint towards the playoffs,
Yeah.
just the importance of your star players kind of setting that tone for when, the games really start having that playoff feel. How important is that going to be for you guys, the 3 guys you mentioned, CJ, Zion, and BI, being those tone setters, once that playoff vibe really kicks in?
It's going to be extremely important for us when we get back. That's the stretch run, and as we progress with those games, it's going to have playoff-like atmospheres, especially with teams that are trying to position themselves for playoff, play-in, what have you. But those games are tough down the stretch, and those guys are going to have to set the tone, especially starting on the defensive end. And when they do that, the offense, it is what it is. They can score on anybody, but it's the defensive end that we really have to focus on.
And just in general, just what do you like about where you guys are right now going into All-Star break, and where do you feel like y'all need to improve the most?
I like where we are in terms of we've been able to carve out wins and put ourselves in a solid position as far as the standings is concerned. We're figuring it out as we go with our starting group. And, the improvement is that we want to continue to be elite on both ends of the floor. And it starts with our defense. So coming back, the focus is against these top teams, we have to have a defensive presence. We have to continue to share the ball, which we've done, finish possessions with rebounds defensively and shoot open shots, which we did tonight.
And Willie, to Will's point, last year at the All-Star break, I think you guys were 30-29. This year, you're 11 games over 500. What kind of sense of accomplishment is that? I know you haven't won anything, but how do you view it in those terms?
It's a step in the right direction. Each year, we're making improvements from my first year being here to last year and this year. And one of the biggest improvements for us, and I continue to say it, is that we have a healthy roster, pretty much healthy roster. Obviously, we've had some guys be out, but having the main guys healthy helps us. And we'll come back and get ready to go.
And I know Christian's already asked about Jose, but what about the shot in the arm that Naji's given you guys since he's come back from injury these last 3 games?
Naji's been really good for us. His toughness, his ability to get stops, rebound, make plays in the open floor offensively. He's knocking his shots down. He's been huge for us, especially with Dyson being out.
Coach Brandon had another 8 assists tonight. That's 7 straight games with at least 6 assists for him. Try to talk about how he's embracing that playmaking role by getting others involved like that.
He's been fantastic in that area. When he sees 2 guys on him, he's a willing passer, and he's trusting his teammates, and that's what it's going to take for us offensively across the board. But seeing B.I. do it, the other guys kind of fall in line. All right, guys, enjoy. Thank you.
See y'all when you get back.
What was that like? What was that one like to be part of where you guys go up 20, lose it, and then get it back?
We got to stop doing that, man. We got to stop. I'll be the first to say it. As a team, we got to stop doing that. And I think that started with me, B, and CJ. But truth be told, we got to stop doing that. When we get a lead, especially if we want to make a deep run in the playoffs, we got to be able to maintain leads.
Yeah, as you guys head into the All-Star break, 11 games over 500, what's just your evaluation of where this team is at and where you can be in a few weeks, you think?
I mean, think about what you just said. You said we're 11 games over 500. And I'm saying we got to learn how to maintain leads. So if we were able to maintain leads, we would probably be 14, 15, 16 games over 500. So I think we're in an okay spot, but when we come back from break, we got to be able to fine-tune some of those small nuances in the game.
What are you seeing that's kind of leading to some of these leads, fading away in the next couple games?
Like I said, it start with that first group. It start with me, B, and CJ. Like, we can't come out the game the first quarter and the start of the third and just starting off slow, and then the second unit bail us out. We got to start that, and we got to be able to keep a lead.
Yeah, and obviously you guys have dealt with some ups and downs this season, but to be at this point going into the All-Star break, just what's your feel on where you guys are as a team and the potential you have going into the stretch run?
What do y'all think? I'm curious. What do y'all think? Y'all experts, man. Like, talk to me. Y'all, come on, man. Y'all tell me, man. I think we're in an okay spot. Like I said, when we come back from break, we got to fine-tune those small nuances in the game, especially if we want to be a championship-level team.
And you talked to us, after you guys went to the playoffs a couple years ago about wanting to be in those big games, wanting to be on that stage when you guys come back. It's going to be that sprint down to the end of the season. How much are you just looking forward to being part of those games and seeing what you guys have as a team?
I'm excited. I haven't been available for this part of the season since my second year. So just to be available is God bless for that. I'm just excited. Like, I love hooping. And like I say in a lot of interviews, I love competitive hooping. So, we do what we got to do to make the playoffs. I'll be real excited about participating.
What did you think about DJ's performance? I think he scored 43 points against you guys. And I don't want to tell you what his previous career high was before tonight.
I mean, start to finish, he played a great game. And he did it on both ends of the floor. Even when his team was down, his energy was still high. So, I mean, you got to give respect to a player like that, just keeping his teammates in the game and just, doing what he did tonight.
Is he going back to what Will asked? You said how excited you are for everything. Does every game mean a little bit more to you? Because, you're still building towards, are you even 100% yet? I'm not sure. But to be able to think that you're going to finish the season and you guys are trending the right way as a team.
Y'all tell me, man. Like, y'all been writing it. Y'all tell me, man. I'm playing. I'm excited. Each game does mean a lot. Because like I said, I haven't been available for this part of the season since my second year. So, it's a credit to all the hard work me, the team, and my circle have put in for me to be available to this point. So, stay the course and just stay available.
What would you say you feel physically today? I think last time we talked, you said like 88, 89, 90, if I remember right.
The real Zion, I know we good to go when I'm like, not 100, but 110, 115. When I'm doing things that aren't normal constantly, that's when I know I'm back to where I need to be. So I'll say I'm about like 93 right now.
I know you just said you're excited, but where are you mentally? Because this is, you're going towards playing most games in a season.
Like I said, man, y'all tell me, man. Y'all know this better than me, man. I'm excited. Like I said, God bless. I'm even able to be in this position because it's been a rough 3 years. And nobody couldn't walk in my shoes for me. So nobody can really understand what I've been through. So I'm excited for the journey. Like I said, stay the course and stay available.
For
see you had to go in the fourth quarter. That was the point when Coach wanted to sub you out with Larry, and you waited him off.
who's this? I'm playing, man. Go ahead.
You had to go in the fourth quarter, and Coach wanted to sub you out with Larry, but you waved him off, and immediately went and got a bucket. Knowing how many, close games early, what kind of went the other way, was that you just trying to stay in the game and kind of finish it off the right way?
Yeah, I was trying to get the win. And Coach trusts me with situations like that where he'll ask me if I need one or if I can rock out, and I just said, nah, I'll stay.
Thanks, Steve.
You guys enjoy your night.
Have a good break. Have a good break.
Just big picture, you guys are 11 games, above 500 going into the break. Are you pleased with where you guys are at right now? What's your evaluation of where you are at?
I'm just happy I get a break. I'll figure that out, maybe Wednesday, maybe Tuesday. But right now we're just, doing what we're supposed to do, trying to get healthy, trying to take advantage of home games, trying to continue to extend our record and move up in the standings. But I didn't evaluate the season right after the game ended. I just was, looking forward to going home.
Yeah, I mean, once you get past that All-Star break, I mean, it really feels like a sprint as you head into the postseason. Just how, locked in do you need to be during that time? How excited are you for kind of that stretch run?
Yeah, you got to give yourself a mental, physical break. The body is beat up, worn out. I'm sure you guys feel it from traveling. Just a lot of games. We ain't been home much the last 3 weeks, so try to give your body a little break, get treatment, kind of tighten up some things you need to tighten up from a skill set standpoint, and then you understand you're not at the halfway point. It's only 20-something games left. I think we start off 5 and 7. Well, out of the break, we got 5 games in 7 days. We got a back-to-back. Thursday, Friday, back-to-back, and then we play, 6 games in 15 or 16 days, so then we get a little break, and that's when you can ramp up and do more working out and stuff. But I think for me, it's just about understanding what we got to do, trying to win games at home, beat teams under 500, and compete on the road and continue to give ourselves a chance to not be in the playing game.
Yeah, you guys are obviously in a good spot, one of the best records franchises ever had at this point in the season, but there's obviously still some inconsistency, some up and downs at certain points. I guess, what's your feel on what's the root of some of that and what needs to be done to fix it?
Yeah, I think we're just figuring ourselves out. Coaches are figuring out lineups, and we just got to do a better job of extending leads. But I think the good thing is that you figure out ways to win ugly sometimes, and you don't really remember these ugly wins. You remember the ugly losses, right? So just continue to figure out ways to win those games and learn from some of the late game blunders we've had throughout the season, and you win some of those on the back end of the schedule and give yourself a chance to get close to 50 wins.
It looked like it was going to be an easy night when you were up 20 in the second quarter.
Yeah.
It turned tough. What changed? What was your takeaway from coming out with the win?
We didn't get stops. I think that was a part of it. They hit 21 threes. They got to the free throw line. A dude had 40-something on us, and he averaged 13. So stuff like that happens. It's going to be a difficult night.
Yeah, and Christian mentioned kind of that sprint to the end of the season. You've experienced that a bunch of times, just knowing how the rest of the league kind of picks up their game in anticipation of the playoffs. How important is it going to be for you, Z, and DI to kind of set that tone for how those games are going to feel down the stretch?
Yeah, we know what needs to be done. We've been here before where we had to play in must-win environments, playing games, must-wins on the road for seeding and stuff like that. So we'll be ready.
CJ, a lot of players get a real break coming up, but you as president, I'm sure it's a little bit different. Can you give us a glimpse as to what you're facing over the next week or so?
Not ideal for me and my household, but I'll be there about 48 hours, and I got to get out of there. So I'll be there for 48 hours, and then I'm out. Back to the family. Happy Valentine's Day, baby.
Thanks, CJ.